Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We are going to be trying to kick this game off here yet again. I assume we should be just fine this time. It looks like we had just a little bit of a technical difficulty there. One of the players having some trouble with his keyboard, so we're just going to be restarting this. AoWAmPLifY versus Karma. Now, I was talking just momentarily there about AoWAmPLifY for just a moment. Now, he practices quite a bit with players like Giraffe, who are extremely good Protoss players. Now, Karma, I wouldn't say necessarily has the same play style as Giraffe, but, I mean, he's playing the same race, and so some of the things are definitely going to be the same, and my guess is that AoWAmPLifY going to have pretty decent insight into this matchup here. Now, Karma, though, we have seen some phenomenal verse Terran action from that guy quite a bit, and so this is, I believe, probably one of the most high-powered matchups we're going to have early on in this tournament, where it is very, very even matchup here. We've got very high-level, master-level players here from both of these guys, and on Metalopolis, which is a fairly balanced map, we should see a really, really good game here. Now, AoWAmPLifY is going to be spawning as our pink Terran down here in the bottom center location, the 6 o'clock position. Karma spawning at the 12 o'clock position. He is our green Protoss. So good cross positions here. Notice that Karma going to be walling off his supply line here with his gateway. Looks to be a fairly standard opener, taking the far gas first. Notice that. So this one actually slightly farther away from the Nexus than this one, but not a big deal there. We do have, looks like, AoWAmPLifY starting with some standard opener here, I'd say. Yep. Refinery going down in pretty decent time there. And the barracks is going to be complete here in just a moment. So good scouting, it looks like, from both of these players right now. Both of them headed to the incorrect spot first, but, oh man, Giraffe lost the first round. That's brutal. But this is a tough outlay today in this tournament. But we do have some scouting now. Karma is going to cruise up here and find his opponent. Look at that. AoWAmPLifY going to block that off immediately there. So great control. Does not want to let his opponent in his base. Karma now going to have to try and evacuate this probe. Is he going to be able to get that guy out of there safely? Yes, he does. Ever so barely. But in the meantime, AoWAmPLifY is scouting his opponent's base as well. Does see the cyber core going down. Pretty standard timings there, so nothing strange. So AoWAmPLifY probably feeling pretty good thus far. And it is going to be shaping up for a phenomenal match, it looks like, though. Maybe some macro game, too. I don't know. We do have, it looks like, a factory going down here for AoWAmPLifY, so a potential 1-1-1 build from AoWAmPLifY. We'll see if that's going to be the case. We do see his second gas going down here before the 4-minute mark, which does potentially mean some serious tech here. My guess is we may see some Banshees. Now, will it be a cloaked Banshee harass, or will it be a Banshee tank push? That is the question here. We do have a reactor going down on the barracks right now, so that's kind of interesting as well. And a tech lab on the factory right away. So is it going to be a starport? Oh, another barracks. Interesting. So looks like we may not see a 1-1-1 here. Actually, we really can't, since there's already a second barracks going down. But we'll see how he's going to go from here, where he's going to go. It is going to be tanks. Interesting play here from AoWAmPLifY. So tanks, marines, going to be fun stuff there. We do have what looks to be 3 gates out right now for Karma, and continuing to chrono boost out his cyber core here. So probably going to try and put some 3-gate pressure on his opponent as he is expanding here in about a minute to a minute and a half. We'll see if that's the case here in just a moment. We do have another pylon going down, and let's see, nobody getting supply blocked quite yet. So Karma going to be putting a little bit of pressure on his opponent's front door here with the Stalker, who is actually taking a decent amount of damage. He's already lost 40 HP there, now 45, and looks like he is going to back out with his life to mix back into the army for death another day, for ire another day, right? And back he goes, and in the meantime, it looks as though Karma going to go ahead and take his expand here fairly quickly. So good stuff from him. We do have 3 warp gates, and going to be warping in solely Stalkers at this point. Going to be tossing down his second assimilator, and here in just a little bit, we should see a new tech pattern from Karma. Yep, there it goes. There's the robotics facility going down, and so there's your tech switch from your Protoss player. In the meantime, we do have an SCV from AoWAmPLifY going to be cruising out across the map here. Is going to get some scouting intel in. We'll see the timing of this Nexus. But AoWAmPLifY not gearing up for an expand quite yet. We'll see if he's going to go for an expand after he scouts this, or if he is going to go for this big push here. Now, tanks here are going to be fairly effective. But, oh, taking out a couple Stalkers. Taking out a lot of Marines there, actually. Doing a pretty decent job. But now with the tanks on the field, oh, the Stalker's going down pretty quickly. Gonna have to back out. I think Karma overcommitting there. As soon as he saw that tank fire, it was probably a good time to be backing out. Tanks fairly effective against those Stalkers. So pretty good stuff, though. Looks like Karma will escape with his life. And here comes a push from AoWAmPLifY. In the meantime, are we going to see some Immortals? Yes, we are. Immortals coming out on the field. But do you remember, we do have that Siege Tech complete and a pretty decent number of Marines here. So it's going to come down to tank positioning and just, I guess, good micro from these Marines. These Marines are really going to have to try and get some shots off on those Immortals. Or Immortal. I guess there probably will only be one at that point. But here comes the attack here in just a moment. Looks like AoWAmPLifY did siege up there for a moment. It is going to unsiege here. Back and forth. Looks like he's going to be leapfrogging forward here. Wow, Karma actually going to be getting some free shots off on that siege tank. Lucky, lucky stuff. Oh, but don't walk into that siege line, as AoWAmPLifY is going to be leapfrogging forward here. So interesting stuff. Going to be getting out a bunch of zealots. And another gateway here, probably exactly what he needs. Going to need that unit producing capability here in just a moment, I would assume. But 3 siege tanks here, pretty decent stuff. And this tank already in range of the Nexus, going to be putting on some pain. And it looks like these Stalkers are going to have to come in for the attack from the flank. Here comes the main attack, double-sided here from Karma. Is this going to be the correct unit composition and approach path? Taking out 2 tanks immediately. These Stalkers doing a great job focusing down the tanks, but these guys focusing down the Zealots here, and it looks like Karma's army just a little disjointed here. Now 3 Stalkers going to have to escape down to the south, and that is not exactly where he wants them to be, but oh, Karma has to be so careful. He's got to keep these units alive. He needs every single one of these units at this point. Got to micro them. Oh, 1 Stalker going down. It looks like another, oh, good micro there. Going to be saving that guy's life, and a couple of these Marines losing their lives pretty quickly, but it's going to come down to just enough units here for Karma. Is he going to have enough? Probably needs a little bit more Stalkers, maybe even a Zealot or 2 mixed in, but here comes the main attack. Karma really has to hold this off, I think, at this point. Taking out that tank very, very quickly there. And there it is. GG from AoWAmPLifY. And that is going to be game, ladies and gentlemen. So Karma will be advancing in the tournament. AoWAmPLifY, however, will not. Now, that's sad news because AoWAmPLifY and Giraffe, hailing from Art of War, have both already busted out of this tournament. And that is making me sad-faced. But thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. And don't alt-tab. Always love Starcraft. We'll see you guys in just a bit.